supporter of the show. From a good business, a fantastic one, and only came in to contact maybe a couple of months ago. And after a bit of interaction, it was Pete's great idea that I think we should get them on the show. Now, for the listeners, the regular listeners will know, Altrincham Duck, brilliant, but we want to know a bit more about them and what they do. Anyway, on the line now, from Altrincham Duck, we have Matilda.
Yes, Matilda.
Hello.
Duck. How are we doing, Matilda?
We're fine. We're glad the rain stopped. It's not much fun for a duck in the rain.
No, exactly.
So,
Well, they always say it's great weather for ducks, but not Altrincham Duck.
No. I mean, it's a bit of rain's nice, and obviously water, we like that. But, you know, too much water, we can't get out there and do stuff.
Oh, that is a big shame. So what we were talking about, me and Pete, and when we found out about Altrincham Duck, and same with the listeners as well, we wanted to know, what does Altrincham Duck do? And we knew that it's not just this old man's drinking society, as we were talking about, Pete, weren't we?
Yeah,
we really wanted to know that it has huge female representation as well. So for the listeners, what is Altrincham Duck and what does it do?
Well, Altrincham Duck. Well, we've been going since 2014. Our head duck, Neon Duck, flew into Altrincham, decided he quite liked it, and so we can make a home there. What we do is we want to get the word out about Altrincham, really. Altrincham Centre, specifically all the small businesses that we have. Now that we're coming out of lockdown fully and people are starting to go back to normal, there's a lot of small businesses in Altrincham which, you know, like everywhere in the country, will have suffered. And what Altrincham Duck has been doing for years is we're shining a spotlight on those little businesses. And even though it's not on social media, because, you know, there are still some businesses, for whatever reason, not on social media. So what we do is we like to give a shout out to them on our Twitter feed, and we like to point people in the direction of, you know, the local garage, or you want a Chinese this weekend, why not try here? It's part advertising, part awareness, part just making a community, really, so that everyone knows where they can go to.
So it's supporting the local community. Well, it's great that Altrincham has so many of them, and I'm glad that you are part of that as well. So it came in 2014. How big is Altrincham Duck now then? And when did it? So it started, I'm assuming, very small in 2014, but it's grown ever since.
Yeah, well, there were 20 people involved in Altrincham Duck. There's 20 people shouting out and what have you. We have just over 5,000 followers on Twitter. So, you know, that's not a number to be quacked at, if you excuse the fun. And it's good because those people who are following us, we're following about 4,000 something. They are taking their information from source, if you like. We also, it's not all just about business. We have a joke section every day. So we do some jokes. Neon Duck is in charge of that. And
Neon or Leon?
Neon as in the light.
Yes.
Yes, he's a bright, shining duck. And he's in charge of that. And some of them are a bit dad, but, you know, they make you laugh. If you make you laugh or make you grow, they've done the job.
Fantastic.
You know.
And what we saw from some of the pictures is that you regularly meet up in pubs, or you did so anyway before March 2020. Is that the right question, where you all meet together and then hopefully then promote Altrincham from there and think of ideas?
Yeah, basically we all get together and we have a little bit of a brainstorming little meeting. And what we're going to, you know, is there anything we need to focus on? Is there anything coming up that we need to really push, like these Altrincham Festival and, you know, things like that. And it's basically what can we do to improve the area and make people more aware of what's going on. We have our local business directory, which is, you know, it's free to join, and we don't do any strings. We don't say, oh no, we can't have two mechanics on, because, you know, both mechanics are open and both are out there trying to get their business. So that's free to join, and anybody is welcome to just tweet to us and see that.
So if they are going to join, then how would they necessarily get? Would they get in touch through Twitter or Facebook?
Twitter is fine. Twitter is absolutely fine. We're mainly Twitter-based. So if you just want to search for us, Altrincham Duck, send us a message or tweet us direct, you know, just send us a tweet and we'll be in touch with you. because we want to grow this. We want to get more people on board. We've got quite a few already. 5,000 people isn't to be sniffed at, but we'd like to extend it more. We'd like to cover Altrincham and, its attendant little areas, so people have a sense of community. Because I think, especially coming out of COVID, we've got to start looking towards that community, and we've got to start thinking about our small businesses and how can we help them. You don't have to go and buy there. Buying's great. But maybe you're not in the position to buy, and that's fine. Tweet about them. Yeah. Say, so if you've got a friend who says, I'm looking for a carpet cleaner, oh, have you seen this person on Altrincham Duck? I'll send you the link. You don't have to buy to support. And I think that's what
I agree with you completely. I think that it's getting out there, it's promoting Altrincham as a whole, isn't it, Pete, as well?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. And we had Max Eden in yesterday from the Hellbarns Carnival and from Bodenbury, and he's actually another great promoter of Altrincham as a whole. And what we'd actually quite like to do, because we only have certain time constraints today, Matilda, what we'd quite like to do, or what I'd certainly like to do, is maybe come down to one of your Altrincham Duck meetings, listen to what you do, listen to see how it goes on, and then maybe after September going off towards Christmas, maybe get a number of you from Altrincham Duck just to come in and out, just talk about all sorts of different things. People, various businesses who you liaise with could come in and out of the studio. We could basically have a full Altrincham Duck day, but instead of over the phone, we could do it in person.
Yeah, that sounds fine. Obviously, Leon is the person to talk to about that. He keeps the Duck Diary. So, but yeah, I think that's a great idea. Because what we want to do, we always want team members. So if anyone listening now thinks, oh, I quite fancy getting involved with this, again, just tweet us. Because what we want to do now, sorry?
You're very, very good You're very, very good tweeters, because actually, while we've been talking to you, we've been tweeted about 6 times. Is that Neon Duck who's been doing that?
Yes, yeah. Neon is very happy doing tweets out.
Right. So
we all tweet, but he likes to tweet the most. He's the one who does the dad jokes. So brace yourself, because he's probably one incoming.
Okay, so what we will do then, we're going to keep in touch, because every week you always sort of tweet out and say hello to all the Altrincham businesses, and we always generally reply. What we will do within the next month or two, I will either get in touch with yourself or with Neon Duck. I will arrange to come down to one of these meetings that you have, just introduce myself, if this is all right with you. I'm sort of inviting myself, and I'm even
that is what Pete usually does.
Well, Pete, if you want to get involved, that's fine.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd love to come down.
Yeah, well, eating places are starting to reopen, obviously going forward. So we're also looking for people who want to do food reviews.
Oh.
So,
right.
Yeah, exactly. That might be up your street.
Pete's your man there.
Well, exactly, Pete. What we want to do is, obviously, you go away, you have your nosh or whatever, your pondweed or your peas or whatever anyone's feeding you, and then tell us what you think about the place. Right. Because, word of mouth counts for a lot.
Oh, no, it does. It's
or should
absolutely.
I say word of beak?
And I think now, while we've been talking, we've got up to about 10 tweets, and they've absolutely been fantastic. So what we will do, so this is the next part regarding our association with Altrincham Duck. What we will do, we will get in touch with you. We will work out when your next meeting is. At the very least, we'll come down just to maybe report on it. We'll give you some, maybe some of our ideas. You can give us some ideas about how to, help local businesses. And then what we will do later on in the year, between September and December, we will make arrangements in person with you to try and get some of these businesses who work with you and some members of Altrincham Duck actually into the studio. Would that be all right, Matilda?
That sounds absolutely great. And if there is anyone listening who wants to, is Altrincham bound, just hashtag Altrincham on Twitter and we'll pick it up.
Yeah.
And then we can speak to them direct as well. So yeah, it's all about making Altrincham. I know the Manchester Evening News is always saying about how wonderful Altrincham is to live, and that's fine. But we want to shout it out as well.
Yeah,
and we want to let people know what's going on.
Altrincham that big voice. Matilda, just before we go into this next tune, thank you so much for coming on. But for the listeners, where would they find Altrincham Duck, either in the town or on social media?
On social media, we have got a website, altrinchamduck.co.uk. We're on Facebook at Altrincham Duck, And mostly, as you've just been saying, we are on Twitter at Altrincham Duck. But hashtag Altrincham air-tweet, and trust me, Neon Duck will find that.
Absolutely
Fantastic. Thank you
brilliant.
so much, Matilda, for coming on Radio Alty.
That's quite all right.
Thank you, Matilda. Thank you, Matilda Duck. Absolutely brilliant.
Bye.
Thank you very much,
Fantastic.
Matilda. Superb. 10 out of 10.
Fantastic. And before we do, we're going into a big tune. We have not played this song